one of the ones with those other ones?
No, that was.
We good? Yeah. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the administrative hearings for the Village of Beach Park. This being November 9th, 2022. My name is Tim Evans. I'm the duly appointed hearing officer who will be presiding over the hearings this morning. A little bit of information about myself and the hearing process, and then we're going to get started. First of all, I am a licensed attorney in the state of Illinois. I am also a trained administrative law judge. I'm hired by the Village of Beach Park for the sole purpose of coming in to hear these hearings. So I always tell people, if you're here to complain about the village, I'm not the guy to talk to. I'm hired as an independent contractor. My sole purpose is to come in and hear these hearings. So that's what will be taking place today. When your case is called, I'm going to ask you to step to the podium. If there's any documents or actual physical photographs that you want to show me at the time, bring those up to the podium with you. At that time, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand, take an oath to tell the truth. The rules for perjury apply here as they do in a court of law. At that time, I will read the ticket information that I have before me into the record. I will ask you to identify yourself, and then I will ask you to tell me anything you want to tell me, show me anything you want to show me in reference to your case. And that'll be an indication to you that you can start your testimony, okay? I'm interested in anything that's relevant to your case, all right? So if one of the things you want to tell me is or ask me is that why did I get the ticket because my neighbor does the same thing, I can't answer that question, okay? My sole function is to look at what brought you here, all right? So again, anything that is relevant to that. I will look at any physical photographs you have. I will look at any documents you have. I will not look at any photographs that are on your phone, okay? If I do that under the rules of evidence, I have to take your phone for 35 days and lock it in a drawer. It's called preserving the evidence. I don't do that, okay? Most people want to keep their phone and use their phone, and I understand that. I'll let you testify about a picture that's on your phone, but I will not look at it. Okay, so understand that. Understand that today's hearings are considered civil in nature. What does that mean? That means that the standard of proof that I'm looking at is the civil standard. So understand, under civil law, when the officer or the inspector wrote the citation or the notice that brought you here, that is a sworn statement, and that is sufficient to establish what's called a prima facie showing that the violation occurred. Okay, so in other words, the burden has been met. And the burden in a civil case is by a preponderance of the evidence. And that means a 51% standard or a more likely than not standard. So understand that as you sit here right now with that sworn statement and a prima facie showing having been established, there's enough for me to make a finding against you. Okay, most likely you're here not to say, yeah, I did it. Otherwise, you would have just paid it. All right, usually people are here and say, hey, I want to present my case, and you'll get that opportunity. Okay. Understand this is going to be your one and only opportunity to present any evidence and testimony to me. So you want to make sure you tell me everything. All right. Again, everything that's relevant. Understand that once I think you're done, and you're going to hear me say something to the effect of, is there anything else you want to tell me or show me? All right. That's an indication to you that I think you're done. All right. You might not be. All right. And if you're not, that's fine. Just simply say, there's a couple more things I want to tell you, and I'll let you continue. All right. Once you say that's it, no, I can't think of it. I think I told you everything I want to tell you in regards to the case, then that'll conclude the hearing, and I'll prepare a written order. Now, I'm going to be making one of two findings today. I'll either be making a finding of no liability, which means I found for you and against the village, in which case there's nothing more you need to do except to get a copy of the order, and you're on your way. Okay. If, however, I make a finding of liability, it means I found against you and for the village, in which case I'll assess a fine. All right. Now, if it is for instance, like a parking ticket, that's probably going to be a flat fine. If there is a ongoing inspection violation and it's ongoing, that could have a higher fine, and that could be what's called a per day fine, okay, or a per diem fine. If that's a per diem fine, that per diem fine is going to continue to grow on whatever fine that amount is. So, for instance, if it's $100 a day, it'll be $100 a day that it keeps growing until the property gets brought into compliance. Okay. So you need to make sure that you stay in communication with if you are found liable, stay in communication with the village in order to get the property brought into compliance. And so you can then at that point stop the fine from growing. All right. Understand that if I do make a finding of liability, it's not an offer or an opportunity for you to say, hey, I just remembered one more thing I want to tell you. Understand, once I make my finding and I put that out there, I lose jurisdiction of the case. All right. So the only thing that is really an option for you is to either pay it or appeal it. All right. You would pay it upstairs, and if you appeal it, you appeal it by filing what's called an administrative review action. And it's an actual lawsuit that you have to file in the Circuit Court of Lake County. All right. You have 35 days in which to do that. I always tell people who come to these hearings, if you are found liable and you do decide that you want to appeal, talk to an attorney and get some legal advice. All right. It's an actual lawsuit. There's time constraints. There's costs involved. There's things that you have to do. And you want to make sure that you get yourself fully informed before you go through that process. Okay. But it is your right to file an appeal. All right. Today's hearings are being videotaped for purposes of maintaining a record, a transcript. In the event that you are found liable and you did decide to appeal, you're going to need a copy of this, the copy of the transcript for purposes of your appeal. Okay. So when you step up to the microphone and the podium, just make sure you keep your voice up like mine is, and we'll make a good record. And then if there's any issues there, then you'll have a good transcript for purposes of your appeal. Okay. How are we going to go?
Well, Mr. George Mejia was in here first, so let's start with him.
All right, Mr. Mejia, come on up.
He's on the last page.
All right. Sir, would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, this is docket number 22-0541. This is a ordinance violation 01667. The date of that was July 8th, 2022, and this is for an inoperable vehicle missing a license plate under 4.1.2. And you are Mr. Mejia?
Senior.
Senior, okay. And sir, what can you tell me about this?
I have no idea what this is all about.
Okay. Do you have any
I'm
information?
trying to find it.
Okay.
Maybe a vehicle information. I'm pretty sure it's not me, though. All my vehicle is licensed.
Was it, oh, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. All right, this is on the Dodge Ram 1500 van. But you don't know anything about it?
No, sir.
All right.
Can you find out if he owns that van?
Mr. Mejia, can you approach for a minute? Do you recognize this?
Yes.
Is this your son's van?
No, I sold this van to a construction guy maybe about 2-3 years ago.
Okay, but this is this is the property, right?
No, I don't know the property. No, I don't. I'm not familiar with Beach Park. But this was mine and I sold it.
Okay. Do you have any bill of sale? Would you have any bill of sale?
No, it was a friend into construction because I don't have that business.
Okay. All right, you can step back. When you sold it to him, did you do a bill of sale, do you recall?
No, I just signed over the
Title?
title, sir. And took my plates off.
What do you want to do?
I don't know, Steve, do you know how we tracked it back to him?
Yes, just through Lake
VIN.
County Sheriff ran the VIN.
Yeah, through the VIN. There's no plates on it.
All right, let's just make sure he's under oath, ask some questions, then we can move on with it.
All right. But do you recall, you said you sold this about 2 years ago?
Yes, sir.
Did you, and who did you sell it to?
I can get the name for you, but I don't know it right off, but I do, can find out for you.
I'm going to suggest that we continue it and have him bring back proof that he sold the van.
All right. What's our next date then? December 14th? Put into this verification
Yeah,
or just,
something.
okay. Mejia, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to continue the matter until December 14th at 9 a.m. again here.
Okay.
Okay. What I need for you to do is I need for you to get the information about the person you sold it to.
Correct.
Okay. And then if you can't provide any of that information, then at least what you need to do is provide documentation to me that states that you've canceled the registration with the Secretary of State to get your name off the registration. Otherwise, the vehicle will continue to stay in your, the VIN number will continue. I mean, you took the plates off, but if the person doesn't register it, doesn't record the title, then they just dump it.
Yeah, I hope they tag it and tow it.
Yeah.
Then
So
we won't have
we don't
this.
know, but this is what, but
Okay.
again, it comes back to you. So
Okay.
the responsibility is going to be on you, but I prefer to give you that opportunity.
Okay. that's
Okay?
fine.
All right. So we'll
Thank you.
see you next month.
All right.
Thank you.
Vanessa Gibbs here was second in.
Okay. Ms. Gibbs, come on up.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. All right. This is docket number 22-0322. This is a citation that was issued April 17th, 2022 at, for no parking on Village Street, 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. You are Ms. Gibbs?
Yes.
And Ms. Gibbs, what, if anything, did you want to tell me or show me?
Well, I wanted to show you the documents I have from the Zion Police saying that I'm not in control of the car. I called the police and told them.
Let me see. Thank you.
And also, I was hospitalized during that time. You said you didn't want to see anything in the phone, but my documents for being hospitalized is in my phone, so I won't be able to show you that. But that is the documents from Zion Police.
All right, I'm being shown a police department information sheet from the city of Zion, and the information that is contained on the narrative Is the narrative consistent with what Ms. Gibbs has stated in regards to that you purchased a vehicle for your granddaughter and she's racking up tickets and allowing people to drive the vehicle and get tickets as well, but that the vehicle is still in your name? Is that still in your name?
Yes, I'm in the process of having the vehicle repossessed, and they haven't completed that process yet.
Okay.
So I called the state of Illinois and told them what was happening because I have a massive amount of tickets every day, even several a day, that's being piled up on the vehicle. And they told me to call the bank and see if I can get them to do a repossession. They agreed to do it, but because I'm in bankruptcy, they had to go to court and get authorization. They had to get authorization from my attorney to be able to talk to me. All of that's done. But now I have to deal with the residue.
Did you cancel the registration?
No, they told me I can't do anything until the bank is in possession of the vehicle.
Okay.
The village is going to take a similar position that, we have to insist that the registered owner is the one that gets the parking ticket. Will give her an opportunity to show that she doesn't own the vehicle anymore.
Did they say how long it's going to take?
They said it was going to take 45 days to get through the process of going to court and then being able to retrieve the vehicle. It's been already nearly a month,
Okay.
and so I don't know how long it's going to take for the process.
You
But
want to do January?
Yeah, we can give her a little bit longer date.
What's our January date? Thank you. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue the matter until January, okay? This will give you an opportunity to get the repossession portion taken care of, to let them take it back, and then at that point, I'll re-examine everything. Once they get it back, stay in communication with them, see about canceling the registration, see about getting your name off it any way you possibly can. There's two different avenues here. There's the registration avenue, and then there's the bank avenue. I don't know whether they'll let you cancel it or put something on it to show that you are not in possession of that vehicle anymore, even though you still are there's a lien holder on it. So
yes, the
that
bank
I don't
knows
know.
that I'm not in possession.
Right. So you
They're
might,
trying to get it.
yeah. So keep in communication with the lien holder who's got the financing on it, and then you might want to reach out to the Secretary of State and see what other options you might have.
I did. They told me the only option that I had was to go through the lien holder. That's why I called them.
Okay.
If I had the car in my possession, I wouldn't do a repossession.
Right. You turn it back over.
Right, because I would just pay the vehicle out.
Sure.
And
Well, this way it gives you an opportunity to kind of maybe get through that process, and then when you come back, we'll look at it, and if things are
'cause
resolved.
it's not just this ticket. I mean, I
Yeah,
have
I'm
a
sure.
massive amount of
Yeah,
tickets.
well, if this is any indication, yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So January 11th
that's good.
at 9:00, and
That's
then
good.
hopefully you'll get everything squared away by then.
Thank you, Ron.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Do I need to get some paperwork?
You're going to need, yeah. You wanna give that to her? Just that one. sir.
Just the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's going to give you a copy of the order, and you can be on your way.
Okay,
Thank you. All right.
So that's where my check-in ended. So I don't know if we want to just start at the top of the sheriff's list here.
Okay. All right. Is Arias Autzen here? Austin? Jamal Dixon? Jose Nunez? Noel Martinez? Shemart Garrett? Miguel Galindo, Gary Neely, Gunnar Gumminson, Victor Padilla, Alma Zaraleta, it's all right, we'll pass the case. All right, so just keep going down the.
Yeah, so,
Alex Pasowitz, David Montoya, step up, sir. Sir, would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? All right, this is docket number 22-0665. This is a citation that was issued on September 6th, 2022, for dumping in, prohibited dumping in a residential area. Excuse me. You are David Montoya?
Yes.
All right, and Mr. Montoya, what, if anything, did you want to tell me or show me in reference to this?
The dumping, it was for a pathway that was already there from years back, and I wanted to fill in, and I was in the process of getting a permit for that, and a drawing for the property as well, and I wasn't dumping like it's not trash that is just like a dump ground. It was material that was gonna be used for that for the property. So it's not dumping trash or anything like that.
Is that asphalt or is that dirt?
There was one of asphalt and one dirt.
have you applied for a permit yet?
No, I was trying to get the drawing for the because I wanted to show a drawing that shows everything, because that's what you guys asked for also, like with an architectural drawing so it could look more professional, like a blueprint. So I don't want to go apply and then you guys ask for that as well, and then I gotta go back.
I guess I'm wondering why it took so long for you to get here. Because this was September 6th, that was when this was issued. So between then and now, what's been going on?
The tickets that I got for the asphalt, I went to go pay for that, and then I was told that the truckers also got a ticket, but wasn't it supposed to be just one ticket for the whole thing?
I can't answer that because the only thing I have in front of me is the ticket that you have. So I don't know what even you're making reference to.
Oh,
This is the property next to the Munoz property too, is it?
Correct.
We're asking for a fine.
Okay.
I can provide additional if you need it.
Yeah, would you raise your right hand? Do you swear from any testimony you'll give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Would you state your name, please?
Stephen Dumian?
And you are one of the inspectors for the village?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What can you tell me about this?
On this particular property, Inspector Mark Kaspersky issued the citation. I'm familiar with it. I was involved in this particular case as well. This has been an ongoing problem at that particular property. There is no permit to change the grading, add a driveway, et cetera. There is no primary structure on the property, so he can't obtain a permit to do what he's doing. I do know in his testimony, the truck driver was cited. He was cited. Additional truck drivers have been cited. This has become basically a unauthorized, unlicensed landfill.
Okay. Mr. Montoya, anything you want to tell me, sir? Anything else you want to tell me?
Well, I want to tell you about the both tickets, because why is it two tickets when it's just one cause, one thing that you guys are ticketing for? Why is there two?
Okay, as I said, I don't know anything about the other ticket. The only thing I have in front of me is this ticket. So that's what I'm addressing. So I can't answer your question.
So if I get the permit, how does it go from there?
Well, you should get the permit if you're going to be doing any type of road work or dumping or anything like that. But that's not here today. That's something that if there was a permit that should have been issued, that should have probably been done between, at the very least, between September 6th and now.
The village would be looking for a fine high enough to send a message that the dumping needs to stop.
Okay. All right, Inspector, I'm going to show you these 8 photographs, which I've marked as Village Exhibit Number 1. It's a group. Are you familiar with those photographs?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Did the other inspector take those photographs?
Yes, he took these photographs on September 6th, actually.
All right.
When we visited the property.
Okay, and you were there as well?
Yes, I've been there multiple times.
Okay. All right. All right, so this was the same day. This looks like the same day at noon, and this was same day at 10.
Load was dropped.
Okay.
I do know that.
All right, I'll deal with that in a second. Yeah. All right, so as to this citation, in this hearing, I am going to admit Village Exhibits Number 1. It's a group exhibit which contains 8 photographs showing the items that were dumped. There is no dispute in regards to that the items were dumped there, just whether or not there was a permit is what you have stated to me. The other ticket there was another ticket that was issued that has been tendered to me. It looks as though it was the dumping on the same property, and this was issued at noon, and the ticket that I'm working on, or that I've made a ruling on, was issued at 10. So in regards to the second ticket, I'm going to dismiss that one, okay? But as to this citation, the one that we just had the hearing on, I do find that you're liable. I do find that the violation is ongoing and continues to be ongoing, whether that be a permit or be the fact that there was dumping that took place at the property without a permit and has been cleaned up. So based upon that, I am going to enter a fine, which is a per day fine or a per diem fine, and that's going to be a $750 per day fine. Now that fine starts at September 6th. 2022, and it's going to continue for every day until that property is either cleaned up or you get a permit. Okay. As soon as it is, you can come back in, talk to them. They can ask, they can come out, verify that the property's been squared away, the dumping's been taken care of. And if it is at that point, you can ask them to ask to come back before me to re-examine the fine. I won't re-examine the finding. The finding is what it is, but I would re-examine the fine to see if it's appropriate to lower that. But that's only if you bring it into compliance. Okay? So understand that that's what you would have to do in regards to this. Okay? Do you have an order for this one?
I do, sir.
And I'll just dismiss that one. All right, so this other one is ticket 13482. And because this is duplicative of that, I'm going to dismiss this one. All right. All right.
Okay for me to let him know what compliance is.
Yeah, you can let him know what compliance is. Yeah, that's fine.
You want it on the record or just have me tell him?
You can tell him.
I'll meet.
All right. So yeah, you can, if you want to hand him the order and you can ask him that, just
Yeah.
What's the next case then? Guy Haynes. Go ahead, sir. You can step back. Mr. Haynes, you can step up. Good morning. Would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give today will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. All right, this is docket number 22-0108, is citation 13442. This is a citation that was issued on September 12th. This is for for failure to hook up to the village sewer. All right. You are Mr. Haynes?
Yes,
Mr. Haynes, what, if anything, did you want to tell me or show me? And then the inspector is going to hand me some stuff in just a minute. Go ahead.
okay, last November 16th, I purchased a home at 12772 West Cheney Street in Beach Park. When I moved in, I understood the ordinances that the sewer had to be hooked up, which I have no qualms about that.
Okay.
The problem is that I went through a lot of hardships that were unexpected. On the 6th of December, after I closed on my house on the 16th of November, my ceiling collapsed in my home. It came down. So I had a total mess. Prior to that, I was going through some hardships with my mortgage to try to get my mortgage done. And that was taking a lot of time on that process. So my realtor and myself set up a meeting to see Mr. Huber. And we saw him in October of last year. And I got a written letter from him. And I have a written phone conversation from him. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the two documents I'm being shown by Mr. Haynes, one is a letter dated October 21st, 2021, from Mark Huber, which basically says the Village Beach Park was notified the property was being sold and issued a zoning certificate with the requirement that the property be connected to the village sanitary sewer system. The house was habitable and can be immediately occupied. There is no requirements that Mr. Haynes hook up to the sanitary system before closing. And then the note that you had what says March 2nd, 2022, talked to Mark Huber on this date at 10:45, told me not to worry about the sewer hookup for 6 months to 1 year, told me to get everything done in the house first. He told me he told me to call the village when ready. Okay, I'll give that back to you. Thank you. Sure, you can step back to the microphone. Thank you. All right. So, Mr. Haynes, after you got, did you, first of all, did you have any further communication with the village after your communication with Mr. Huber on March 2nd?
I talked to him, I'm trying to think now, I think it was in September, I think I talked to him.
Was that before or after you got the ticket?
That was before.
Before,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I got the ticket in beginning of October, and it was due, I think, at the end of October.
Okay, well, it was actually issued on the 12th of September.
September?
Yep,
Okay.
it's okay.
All right, I got it
Um,
right here, so,
Okay,
yeah, okay, yeah, 9/12/22.
after you got the ticket, did you come into the village and ask what was going on and what you needed to do? And
No, I did not. I was trying to think to myself why I would get a citation when was going through all that other stuff with my ceiling in my home. And there were some other things in the family that took place. And I was thinking, how can you put a sewer system in the middle of winter?
okay,
And I know you got 90 days to do that, and I understand that. But I'm just trying to figure out how I was gonna do that and apply for all these permits, the 2 permits that I need to have, and trying to fix a house and to go through all that stuff.
okay. All right. Anything else you want to tell me?
Anything else?
Anything else?
No, that's all I can think of to tell you.
All right, that's fine.
All right.
Inspector, can you tell me anything about this?
I cannot. I
You
can't
cannot.
shed any
Okay.
light on this.
That's fine. All right.
Steve, do you think it would be appropriate to give him a month to come in and get a permit?
Yeah, I'm guessing I'm just speculating if he issued the citations, that was at the direction of the village and the water department. They usually notify us when we're past due on a hookup.
Because the village would certainly rather have him hooked up to the sewer than to fine him. So
Right.
I'm going to recommend that we give him one opportunity to come in and get permits and get going on hooking up to the sewer.
Mr. Haynes, I guess my question to you, sir, is if I do give you an opportunity to get your permits and get this done, I mean, again, we're coming to winter time again. And so the opportunity, this window to get this hooked up, it was, earlier in the year to the fall when you had good ground temperature and you didn't have to worry about this.
I am in the process of getting the permit. I'm working with the reclamation department right now.
And what are they telling you time-wise?
They didn't tell me any time-wise. Understand their next meeting is, I think, the 14th of December, where I'd have to go up and present my evidence that I have, for the land surveys, the pre and the pro. And then fill out a couple other papers and just present that to them and just sit back and wait until it gets approved. I guess that's how their system works.
Well, I'm not really inclined to grant an extension on this. It's the problem is we've lost this opportunity, and now we're coming into a full year. All right. All right, I listened to the testimony and reviewed the letters. And obviously, this is an ongoing situation, but I do find that you are in violation of not hooking up to the sewer as you're required to. And while I understand that, hardships take place like that, it's gone on for an extended period of time, which is in, it's in violation. Okay. So the ordinance allows me to assess a per day fine, and a per day fine can range anywhere from $100 to $750. Okay. I don't think there's any intent on your part to not do this. I think you just had some circumstances that kind of threw you a kind of a curveball. So you figured I'll take care of this stuff since it didn't seem so pressing. But it is important that you get this done. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that on the low end. I'm going to assess find you liable. I'm going to assess a fine at $100 per day. And that's since September 12th when the citation was issued, and that's going to continue to grow until you get the situation squared away. Once you get it squared away, as I said with the last gentleman, you can ask the village to say, hey, I'm in compliance now. Can I go back before the hearing officer to re-examine the fine? Okay, and then I'll re-examine the fine. I won't re-examine my hearing that we've done today, but I'll certainly re-examine the fact that it's taken care of, it's resolved, and would I reconsider that fine amount? And I will. Okay. But right now, it's most important thing is that you get this squared away and get the sewer hooked up as soon as possible, preferably before the end of the year, if at all possible. So,
That's not going to happen.
okay. Well, like I said, the fine's going to continue to grow, and that's what, is problematic for you as well. So, do all you can to get it done and kind of go from there. Okay.
All
The
right.
inspector will give you a copy of the order.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Rio Paving. Ram Yadav. Come on up, sir. Would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give today will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You put your hand down. All right. So this is docket number 22-0688. The citation was issued, looks like there was two that were issued. One was on the 25th and one was on the 26th. And these are both for an unsafe structure, and that the structural engineer must approve of a canopy prior to reopening. You are Mr. Yadav?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Yadav, what, if anything, did you want to tell me or show me in reference to this?
So what happened is the September 24th is the like around 2 o'clock early morning, two guys was the high racing, the driving on Louis Avenue, and they are hit the gas station, and is the canopy and is the some pole. After that is the when I came in the gas station and is I called the company, and company did inspection and they gave me the approval. The later can I show you? And I have the video too. And he
Go back to the microphone so we can make a good record. Thank you.
and he did inspection everything, and he said like you can open the gas station and is the as soon as possible fix the canopy. And I have a video. I did not do anything. He caught the ribbon like the city put the like ribbon like I can't open anything. I did not touch anything. The company came and he did inspection and he caught everything like ribbon, and after that I open and I have a video.
Okay, I can't look at it.
uh,
If I look at your video, I have to keep your phone for 35 days. If I look at your video, I have to keep your phone for 35 days.
oh
So I can't look at it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want
okay.
to take your phone, and that's part of the rules of evidence. So
Okay.
understand that.
Okay.
All right, let me look at what you have here. Okay.
And one thing is we are working like any company, and I thought is the like company is connected like fire marshal, state, city, and they are do everything by phone, and they call like somewhere. I thought is that I don't know, and they are is the like give permission like the company. Then we are open because it's the all company connected with each other.
Okay.
And yeah, and that's why I open. Otherwise, I can't.
All right. Inspector, I'll remind you, you're still under oath.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me a little bit about what the circumstances were with this? I mean, I understand the facts that there was cars that hit it. That I get, but where do we stand with this?
Yes, he's correct. There was a vehicle that hit a post holding up the canopy, a gas pump, and also damaged the venting valves on the north side of the parking lot. Inspector Kaspersky did tag the business as an unsafe structure, told him he had to close. In fear that that canopy obviously was not stable. It was barely balancing on the damaged pillar. I actually had been out there and inspected the pillar at a later date. He returned on the 25th, posted it again that it was not to be open, unsafe structure. I don't know why he returned on the 25th unless somebody removed some of the markings for the unsafe structure. When he returned on the 26th, the business was open and operating in violation of the ordinance, in violation of the unsafe structure posted.
Okay.
And he issued tickets. I do know that I was there on one of the phone conversations. I do know that Inspector Kaspersky spoke to the gentleman that he's referring to. All they did was come out and inspect the pump. They said they never gave him any authorization to open up the business, nor can they legally give him authorization to open up the business.
Is the business still closed?
I opened it. I fixed already the canopy, and I have to fix the vane. Is the and fire marshal is came and they did inspection, and they gave me the permission to open the two pumps, and right now I have a two pump is closed and two pump is opened.
Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, the canopy was fixed. The gas pump was fixed. The metal bars that secure around the gas pump to keep it from getting hit were replaced. And the vents have been inspected. I don't know if any further work needs to be done on the vents, but they did say it was okay to open the business.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. That's good that it's safe to open it again. All right.
I close almost like 24, 25 days.
For how many days?
25 days.
25 days?
Yeah, I lose a lot of business. a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of
No, I
everything. And
totally
you-
understand that.
And do you know the insurance company, they're giving too much problem. He don't try to pay anything.
It helps, Tim. I do know that there was some misunderstanding on his part. Once we contacted that gas company and spoke to
The
gas company
BK,
with
this
him,
BK equipment?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he understood that he couldn't open. He did shut down and did not reopen.
All right. So what's the village's position then on this?
Well, we would like to see at least a fine on one of them. He did reopen the business initially with the unsafe structure, which was a hazard to the public. So we
Yes.
Okay. Is the village making any recommendations as to any fines?
No, sir.
Sir, may I keep this receipt as evidence?
Yes, sir, I have a copy.
Okay, thank you. All right, so there's 3 tickets that were here. First of all, defendant's exhibit number 1 is admitted, which is the receipt. And for purposes of citation 13-458 and 13-459, I'm going to make a finding of no liability on that. So I'm finding in your favor on those, okay? And I'm basing that on the fact that on the 24th, you had this BK equipment come out. They gave you this receipt, and this receipt specifically said, didn't find any leaks. Site advised line pressures were okay and that they could reopen if they wished to do so. So based upon the reliance of what this company said, you made that decision, okay, and they, as you said, they went around, they cut the tape off, and you opened up thinking that it was safe to do so. Obviously, you found out later, because you got more tickets, that you weren't, it wasn't safe to reopen. Okay. But for these 2 tickets, I'm going to make a finding in favor of you and against the village. The last citation, because it continued this close, note, reopen, close, reopen, I am going to make a finding of liability on 13460. But rather than a $750 fine, I'm going to reduce that to a $500 fine. Okay. If you have a situation like that, it stinks. I apologize. I wish it would have never happened to you, because that screws up your business. But work with the village in terms of this, because they're not going to be out there saying, hey, these gas pumps are this, or these gas. No, that's not what their role is going to be in your situation. They're going to be looking at, is this canopy going to fall on somebody, or is there going to be debris falling on somebody, or is something to that effect? And they're going to be looking for the safety of that. You did the right thing by contacting the gas company and the equipment company to say, hey, where am I at with this? Are these vents okay? Is the lines okay? What's going on with this? If I have to shut this pump down, I'll shut the pump down. Okay. So you did that, but then it was a misinterpretation because of the way the equipment company said, yeah, go ahead, open up again. Okay. But once they come back and say, no, you can't because of the canopy, then that's when you should have shut it down and kept it there. And you did. You got it resolved and you got it squared away. Okay. But in regards to that, I will make that finding. Okay. He'll help you out, get you those documents. Is Nicole Alexander here? Okay, you step up. Would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear from any testimony you'll give today will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you. This is docket number 22-0660. The citation was issued on September 7th, 2022, and this is for nuisance conditions, debris accumulation, vehicles parked on property with no primary structure, junk scattered about the property, and just overall general conditions. You are Miss Alexander?
Yes, I am.
And Miss Alexander, what, if anything, did you want to tell me or show me in reference to your case?
At this time, Your Honor, I would like to ask for continuance. I'm seeking counsel. I have not been able to come up with the counsel as of today because 2 weeks ago, Sunday, I lost my fiance into a motorcycle accident here on Greenway Road, and it has really put a damper on everything for me. I'm doing this all by myself with the property and seeking further assistance from an attorney. So I would like to ask if you could please give me a little bit more time to do so and come back in and go over the matter at that point.
Any issues with that?
No, it is a reasonable request. Is there any safety issues on the property now?
There's no safety issues. This is just a ongoing issue, and there's been no compliance.
All right, so Miss Alexander, I will grant you this one extension. That's all there's going to be is one extension. Okay,
Thank
so either plan on having your attorney here. If you do engage an attorney quickly, you can contact the village prosecutor and maybe see if you can get something squared away. Also, stay in communication with the village in terms of trying to get things resolved. If you can get things resolved yourself, find out what you need to do. That's also another way to handle it. Okay. But we'll give you one opportunity to bring in counsel, but there will be a hearing next month.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
December 14th.
Nicole, is there a preferred address that we send things to? Oh,
Yes, actually.
okay, I'll take it off the record, though.
Okay.
So you're not on.
All right, December 14th at 9 a.m. All right, if you can give her a copy of the order. All right, thank you, ma'am. Next hearing, Joan Clark.
I am her husband,
Okay, what is your name, sir?
Albert Clark.
Albert?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Mr. Clark, would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. All right, this is docket number 22-0412. The citation was issued on September 1st, 2022, for an accessory building must be permanent. Mr. Clark, what, if anything, did you want to tell me or show me, and he'll hand me whatever paperwork he's got?
This was one of these portable buildings from Farm Fleet. It was a 12 by 20 foot. It's kind of, I guess you call it kind of accessory building from Farm Fleet. So I had it out there from last winter, and I had my motorcycles parked in it.
Okay.
And then they come over this year, I guess it was, or September, and then they said, well, you can't have this. Okay, but they didn't say it had to be permanent. So I moved it in the back of my garage, and then they come over and say, hey, it has to be permanent. I says, okay, then I'll take it down. I'm going to take it down or disassemble everything Saturday, my son is out of state, and we will have it down Saturday. And they, I went over to the village and, okay, it has to have a building. It can be permanent or a 100 square foot shed, I guess, without a foundation. So this is what I'm going to get next.
Okay.
But my son will be here Friday. He's out of state. I mean, yeah, he'll come in Friday, and then Saturday we'll disassemble the whole thing.
What do you want to do?
I know he was issued a prior citation, which he paid. Did not move the structure. Inspector returned at the request of the village and recited him for not moving the structure.
This was when I put it in back because he says, "Oh, it can't." I'm thinking that it could not be out in front.
Front, okay.
It was attached to the driveway, so then I put it in the back, and then they said, "Hey, you can't have it." Okay, I'll take it down then.
So with that being said, we'd be looking for a per day fine till compliance.
Because basically I cannot take it down myself.
Okay.
They did not explain to me with this. They said you just cannot have it in front. So then I thought, okay, I can put it in back. So I put it in back, and now they come and say again that you can't have it. Okay, I'll take it down. I paid a fine the first time when they said, oh, you can't have it there, but the thing was up a whole year before.
Well, that I can't speak to, so.
Right,
So you paid the first ticket?
yes.
Okay.
And then that's when we took it, and the things were like, we just moved it in back, and I thought, okay, get back there. I had a place to park my motorcycles instead of out in the snow. My garage has all my woodworking
Okay.
equipment there, so. Saturday or Friday, I'll have it done.
The village would rather want to find than an extension.
I think, yeah, well, I think we could start the fine today, the ongoing fine. Would that be reasonable? Yeah.
I'm just asking what the village's position is.
Yeah, that's our position.
Do I pay here or do I give them over there?
I'll explain everything in just a minute here. All right, Mr. Clark, based upon the testimony, I am going to make a finding of liability. You didn't deny it. You're like, hey, I just misunderstood, and so
Well, they never explained anything
Okay.
to me.
I am going to make a finding of liability. Okay. As you've heard me say, the range for purposes of per day fines is a minimum of 100, maximum of $750 per day that I can, by ordinance, assess a fine. Okay. Now, the Illinois Supreme Court has said that the starting date of the fine can actually go all the way back to the date of the ticket, and actually they've said it could actually go back to the actual date of the inspector observing the violation. Okay, I rarely ever have done that. But based upon the village's recommendation, they were basically saying, listen, start the fine today. Let's have them get this thing squared away and then go from there. All right. So I'm going to assess a fine, find you liable, assess a fine of $100 per day, but it's going to be starting today. Okay. Which means that after this weekend, if you get it down, you're going to need to contact the village, say, hey, I got it down. You guys come out and look at it. And then if you want to come back to me next month and ask me and say, hey, I want you to reconsider the fine, I'm certainly willing to do that. Okay.
Yes.
I don't think that there's any question that there was a violation based upon everything that I've seen. It's just want to make sure that compliance gets taken care of and you get squared away. Okay. Because understand, if you just walked out of here and you did nothing, the fine would grow. But in theory, every day is a new violation. And so that's the reason why it's important to bring everything into compliance. But stay in communication with the village so that they know you got it done. All right.
Yes.
All right. So the inspector will give you a copy of the order. Thank you. All right. Was it Willem? Yeah, Squire?
Others, I needed an extension.
No? Okay. Wayne Vayweg? Okay. Good morning. Would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do, sir.
Thank you. All right. This is docket number 22-0367. Citation was issued on July 7th, 2022. This alleges that there was construction materials, fence, and equipment located on the north side of the barn. You are Mr. Is it Vayweg?
It's VWAG.
VWAG.
You can call me Wayne.
Okay.
It's easier.
All right. Thank you, Wayne. What did you want to tell me?
First, I'd like to discuss whether the citation is actually legitimate. And by that, I mean the ordinance that's being cited is ordinance 4-2-5 dumping. And the letter I got from the village of Wadsworth is that it shall be unlawful for any person to dump or deposit or to aid, abet, assist, advise, encourage, or permit the dumping or depositing of garbage, refuse, junk, residential, commercial, or industrial waste, or obnoxious debris. The citation that I received said that there was construction material, fence, and equipment located on the north side of the barn, and I'm wondering how that's in violation of the ordinance. Mr. Mark Kaspersky,
Yeah, he's the one who issued the
originally
citation.
came out due to a complaint from my neighbor regarding the dumpster on my property. He wanted that moved. He also complained about the building material and equipment stored on my property, way more than 100 feet from the road on private property hidden from the street view. He also commented on a structure that I had erected on my property. I did get another citation for that, which I paid through Village of Wadsworth, and got the permit, well, applied for the permit, went through the variance, the ordinance variance process, was denied. The illegal structure has been taken down since then. I did pay the other ticket on July 25th. At that point, I spoke with the village administrator, indicated to him the same basic question I have in terms of the ordinance versus the verbiage in the citation. He recommended that I contact Mark. I went home and left a voicemail for Mark. Didn't hear anything back, and to be honest, I kind of forgot about it. I was working on the variance to the ordinances, as well as my father was dying. He passed away in August. So I kind of just honestly forgot about it until I received the letter on Friday saying I should be here today. So that's where I'm at.
Okay. Inspector, I'll remind you, you're still under oath. What can you tell me about this?
I can shed no light on this.
Okay, thank you. All right, but there are 12 photographs, which I've marked as village group exhibit number 1. Have you seen these? These are part of the village's file, correct?
Yes, sir.
And did Inspector Kaspersky take those photographs?
He did.
All
Yes.
right. Have you been out to the property at all?
I have not.
Thanks. Wayne, if you want to come up, take a look at these,
Would love to.
kind of shed some light on it for me in terms of, now, these are photographs that are dated April 29th, 2022,
That was the original time he came.
roughly about 10:30 to your property.
Yes.
Okay. So do these photographs look like they were on April?
On April, yes.
Okay. And
This has been cleaned up. This is the illegal structure that has been removed.
okay.
But yeah, all this that looks like garbage.
Is this fencing material? Is this the fencing
This is
material?
actually corrugated sheet metal,
Okay.
which has been restacked and secured so that it doesn't blow around. That's the wind had blown that around a bit.
Okay.
Like I said, this structure has been removed.
All right.
This is that same tile that you're looking at, which has been reorganized, restacked, and secured so that it does not blow around.
Now, they might be referring to what's up in here.
That has all been removed.
That's been removed?
Yeah. And I actually had Mark, I requested Mark come back for reinspection. He did come back. He indicated verbally.
When did he come back? Do you recall? And I'll have you go back to the microphone so we can keep making a good record. Thanks.
Clearly, it was before he wrote the violations.
I've got a note that he was back there in June.
That sounds.
Does that sound about right?
That could be about right. Did he not?
No, he
take any
said,
additional photographs?
no, the note he gave us is the owner granted permission to inspect the property.
Mhm.
The construction material and equipment was stacked neatly, but still remained. Do we have a copy of the ordinance?
I looked in
I-
here.
I
I do
do.
not.
You've got a copy? Let me see.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me see it.
This 4.2 or -2-5, it starts at the bottom of this page and continues on.
Thank you.
What section is it?
It's the starts at the bottom.
4-2-5. Sir.
It sounds like the materials are construction waste, but we're going to stand on the four corners of the complaint, the inspector's notes, and the pictures, Jim.
Okay. All right. Wayne, do you have anything else you wanted to tell me?
I would like to have him repeat what he said.
I just said that we're going to stand on the four corners of the complaint with the inspector's notes and the pictures, and then the hearing officer can then decide if that's what meets the ordinance's definition.
Okay, yeah, I guess I would like to first ask, you know,
He's just giving me the village's recommendation. That's all he's giving me.
okay, and I guess I don't understand the recommendation. I'm not sure I have really anything more to add
Okay.
to this specific
No, that's fine.
citation.
And that's why I wanted to give you one last opportunity
Right.
to say anything.
I believe I do.
Okay.
Again, I have cleaned up the area. I believe the citation is written. I don't understand why I'm not allowed to store material on my property.
Okay.
If that is against that ordinance, I don't understand how that is considered refuge or waste. That it was stacked neatly, but it is still there. Yes, it is still there.
And what type of material is that again?
It's lumber, primarily lumber and fencing. We have an 8-acre ranch where we have horses. One thing about horses, they love to crib on lumber. So I'm routinely replacing boards of my fence.
Okay.
So when I find inexpensive treated lumber, which is hard to do these days, I get it and I store it for when a board needs to be replaced.
And you're on 12 acres, you said?
8.
8?
About 8. A lot of mowing.
To switch out the microphone.
Did I wear out the battery?
No.
All right, I've listened to the testimony. I'm admitting Village's exhibit number 1, which contains the 4 photographs dated April 29th, which Wayne and I discussed. I've taken into consideration the notes left by Inspector Kaspersky, and I've taken note of the ordinances as provided to me by Wayne. And based upon everything that I've heard, I'm going to make a finding of no liability in this matter. I don't find, based upon what you're telling me, that this is going to constitute residential commercial waste. Not that it might not in the future, depending upon what's stacked or not stacked or what's spread about the premises. Again, I'm only looking at the facts, the circumstances of what I have before me. And I would agree with you that if it is fencing, if it is, things that are designed for purposes of operating your farm, I don't find that falls within that dumping or depositing of garbage or refuse or junk when it can be utilized, given under these particular set of facts. All right, so I'm going to make a finding of no liability in this matter. And then, if there are any questions, obviously stay in communication with the village in regards to any type of future questions and potential violations if they come out. Find out what the circumstances are, what's going on, and then you can go from there.
And with that being said, I honestly think that the inspector just picked the wrong ordinance. I think that is probably a nuisance violation.
It might
Just-
be.
Just keep that in mind, double check with the village. And if they think it is, then, do whatever they say to mitigate it.
I'm in constant communication with the village at
Okay.
this point. We're
All right.
trying to get a course running, rebuilt.
All right.
Can I have my printout of the?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I handed that with him.
Do you need it?
No, we don't need it.
You're not going to appeal this, are you?
I've been born yesterday,
All
early in the morning.
right, the next hearing is William Corwin. All right. Just keep going.
Yeah, I think so. Unless, we're down to just a couple people, so maybe we can just find out who we have here.
All right,
The gentleman in back, we had called and passed.
okay. That is Zaraletta? Is that just the you two? Okay. And then, sir, what is your name? Are you with them? Mario? What, are you here on a case? Or are you just here with them? No. What? I don't see that. Do you see that? Maybe we have them talk to. All right, so sir, what is your name? Get called it one, right?
I have.
Anas Mubarak. All right, so I've got you. Ma'am, what is
Doris.
Doris? Doris Sims, okay. And then ma'am? Okay. All right, so he's the only, Mario's the only one I didn't.
Yeah, I don't see Mario on here either.
Okay, so should we have him talk to her?
You want to check to see if,
Mario, would you go over there and give them your information and see what the circumstances are? Because I don't have anything on my call for you. Okay, so, all right,
Make sure it's not under somebody else's name.
Yeah.
Like a spouse on the property.
all right. Are we ready to go on Zaraletta?
We are, sir.
All right, Alma Zaraletta. Is this all three?
Yes, sir. This was continued from last month.
Okay.
I can give you,
All right, and you were nice enough to translate last month, right? Okay. All right, so I'll have you raise your right hand again. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give will be the truth? Yes. Okay, thank you. All right.
do you want to read your notes from last?
Yeah, please. Thank you. All right, so, okay, I remember the building.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so there are 3 tickets. And we're here based upon me continuing this from last month. And specifically, I found that I admitted the evidence, took in testimony was done without a permit, and we continued this for sentencing, but that you needed to get a permit and inspection. State your name again, please, sir.
Alberto.
Alberto? All right.
I believe the village told them that they were not eligible for a permit because the building wasn't in compliance with the zoning. Is that?
That is correct. The village will not issue a permit. The village has instructed them on more than one occasion to remove the structure.
So that's the village's position, is that the structure needs to be removed.
Okay.
It's my understanding there was enough damage to the structure that it could not,
Qualify, it lost its non-conforming
it
status.
did,
yeah.
yes.
Oh, it
More
lost.
than 50% damage, so it lost the non-conforming status.
Okay.
So the permit would not be issued, but the construction continued.
So the construction continued after my order?
No,
No.
no.
But so that stopped and they applied for the permit and then the permit was denied.
Yes,
They went in to apply for the
Right.
permit and they were told that it wasn't eligible for a permit.
it's not eligible, yes.
Okay. You want to tell them that?
Yeah, I was just telling.
Okay.
Estaban diciendo pues que no puedes sacar el permiso.
Pero dile que ahorita ya contraté una compañía que porque eso no es un 50%, si no se removió el siding. La
So
estructura no se removió nada. Entonces, y aquel está diciendo nomás pues que
¿Quién?
nomás, o sea, el
el
de
que
la
te
ciudad,
está ayudando.
no, de la
Oh.
ciudad, que él le está diciendo que nomás porque él dijo que es el 50% y eso no es correcto.
So he says he hired a company right now. He hired a company right now to take care of the permit stuff and try to see if he can get the permit somehow. Because I mean, I guess it was only according to Pat. ¿Cómo se llama? Pat? According to him, that it was 50%. He thinks that it was 50% destroyed. So he said he doesn't think it's actually 50%, more than 50%. So that's why he hired a contractor, I guess, to try to see if he can get the permit to get it.
Has the contractor approached the village?
Que si el contratista ya fue al village a sacar.
Ya está trabajando en eso, me dio su tarjeta que...
He said he told him he's working on that already. So he gave him his card, but it's on his phone, so you can't show it.
Dile
to him.
porque eso
It's, again, that's, you know, I'm looking for what is
porque realmente
either a permit or
la estructura
anything
no es más
consistent with my last order.
¿sí?
All right.
Es algo, una
So,
respuesta que se-
according to the village, would the property would be out of compliance then for non-conforming?
The building is non-conforming and it had legal non-conforming status. It lost that legal non-conforming status once it went over 50% damage.
Okay.
So
And
that's the
then-
village's position. Actually, technically, he could appeal that part of the decision with the village. But as far as this is concerned, we either want him to have a permit or we want the building down. So we'd be asking for a per day fine until compliance.
Okay. You want to tell them that?
So, que ellos están pidiendo, pues, que el village está pidiendo, pues, que los tumes que te cobren el día que se resuelva el caso.
Pero pues dile eso, que no es más del 50%, que por eso contraté la otra compañía, para que ya no me meta yo.
see.
He says that he feels that it wasn't more than 50% destroyed, so that's why he hired this contractor.
Oh, that's fine. And he can appeal that to the village, but for purposes of what I'm doing here, that's not really what, I mean, he did what I asked him to do in terms of go to the village and try to get the permit. But the village is
Yeah, they just
now
don't
telling
do
me
that.
that they're not eligible because it lost its non-conforming status.
Right. Dice que sí puedes, que eso de, pues, puedes repelarlo después, de que tú dices que no está más del 50% con el village, pero ahorita él, para lo que te dijo, pues que sacar el permiso y eso, pues no tiene nada que ver ahorita.
Entonces, ¿cuándo van a cobrar ahorita?
No sé, ahorita tengo que la recomendación del Village es que te cobren por día como el SB. Eso está bien.
Dile que la otra le preguntas dónde puedo conseguir esas fotos para entregárselas. Las fotos que tiene y para entregárselas también al nuevo al contratista de la red para tratar de solucionar el problema lo más pronto.
In regards to the building not being out of ordinance, does it matter that he has a bigger property now? Would that matter at all for it or no?
Go to the village and check with them.
Yeah, and if he didn't tell the village that when he initially came to them to get the permit, he didn't say, oh, by the way, I bought my neighbor's property, which is another 16 acres or something like that. Then that's probably an important factor to know is that he now owns that.
Right.
So, but again, I don't know what was said and what wasn't. So he should definitely do that.
Es que le pregunté de eso de los que tienes más propiedad, pues le comenté. ¿No le dijiste, no le dijimos eso a Luis? Sí, ¿no?
Acá, güey.
Allá, en el
Sí,
village.
ya sabe.
Sí, porque dice que él no sabe que necesitas comentarle a ellos a ver si afecta el que no puedas tener esa van.
A la casa, también en la casa.
All right, I've listened to the testimony as to where we stand in regards to the permits and the property being brought into compliance. I do find the property is still not brought into compliance, and that's what we were here for today for purpose of assessing a fine. You want to tell them that? So what I'm going to do, I have 3 tickets in front of me. And what I'm going to do with each one of them is that I'm going to find that the property is not in compliance. And then I'm going to assess a $250 per day fine for each citation of the 3. So it amounts to $750 per day until the property is brought into compliance.
Como todavía no se arregla el problema, va a estar cobrando 250 por cada uno, que son 50 por día hasta que se arregle el problema.
And it's going to start today.
What are those 3 for the same thing?
Well, one is a violation of a stop work order. One is for doing barn construction without getting a permit, and then the other one was for a violation of the zoning. That was dealing with the acreage, the fact that there wasn't enough acreage for the barn. So they're not the same. They're separate
You
violations.
said the middle one was for the barn, for the acreage not being enough for the barn?
Correct.
Because he does, like I said, he does have a bigger property now.
Okay, well, that's fine, but there's no proof of that. So if he brings that and he goes back to the village, he's either going to have to either tear the barn down to bring it into compliance, or he's going to have to convince the village to get a permit.
So, dice que uno es por no parar de hacer el trabajo, otro es por la zona y otro es por el del medio, pues dice que es porque no tiene suficiente tierra para el barn.
¿Qué hacemos por los caballos?
Tienes que legalmente en el village para que dicen si es que tienes pruebas, porque no trajiste pruebas, no tienes
All right, so
¿Desde cuándo?
So it'll be per day since when?
today, starting today.
Starting today?
So I could have gone back to the ticket date, but the fact that you went and you inquired about the permit, I'm giving you basically the benefit of the doubt that you were trying to work and get things squared away consistent with my order. So that's why I'm starting it today.
Pero como sabe que has estado tratando de arreglar el problema y has estado yendo al village, te va a dar para el beneficio de la duda desde que has estado tratando, entonces te va a empezar a cobrar desde hoy.
All right, so the inspector will give you the copies of the orders, and then you guys can be on your way.
Dile que no le puedo pedir las fotos después de
He was wondering if you could get a copy, if possible, of those pictures that you guys took, that the village took from,
Thank you.
from the barn, so he can give them to his contractor.
You can talk to the inspector about that. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, who's next?
I think the lady in back, maybe?
Maribel? All right, would you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. So this is 22-0570. This is a citation issued on July 22nd. This is for having a commercial vehicle parked in a residential zone. You are Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes, I am.
And what, if anything, did you want to tell me or show me?
Do you know who is the inspector who gave the ticket? Would you happen to have that information?
I believe that was Inspector Kaspersky. Was the
Oh.
one who initially issued the ticket.
Yeah, okay, so at that moment, we were remodeling my mom's home. The commercial vehicle is mine. My brother drives it, so I own a transportation company.
Okay.
So I never park it there. I have a lot that it's parked at. So during that process, we were getting drywall, flooring, cabinets, a lot of material, and hauled it there. So the inspector had gone a few times and told us, but we told him that we were bringing in material for my mom's kitchen. So when that inspector came on Friday, he gave the ticket to my brother, and told him, "Oh, we're closed over the weekend. Don't worry about it. It's just the neighbors complaining. You don't have to worry about any follow-up." But again, the vehicles never parked there. It was just that week that we were offloading material to remodel my mom's home. So I never followed up with it because they told us it was just a warning, and it's not something that we parked there. I've been in business 7 years, and I want to say maybe 5 years ago, I had got a $500 ticket. So I'm fully aware of the citations of Beach Park. But again, we were offloading material, and it was nothing that stayed overnight. We just have unfortunate neighbors that tend to complain about everything.
Do you have the code for this one?
I have the ticket. I don't know if
No, I got the ticket
Oh, okay.
too. It's 9.8.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you want to see that or no?
No, I see if Steve knows anything about the property too.
I don't have that one in the file.
Okay.
I can get a
Do you
copy.
know anything about 37711?
No, I don't know anything about it, and there was no photographs in the case file, so.
Okay.
So I couldn't print anything for you.
All right. And there's no notes. All right, Ms. Rodriguez, anything else you want to tell me, ma'am?
No, I don't think so.
It's a good move.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, based upon the testimony and based upon the information that I have before me, I'm going to make a finding of no liability in this matter. Just, as you said, you're familiar with not parking commercial vehicles there.
Yeah, I have
This just-
I had a $500 ticket, so I am fully aware of it.
Okay, so if you'll get a copy of that,
Okay.
and then you're on your way. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Which one do you want to do next, Steve? Do you want to do Ms. Sims or the other? I don't know who the other two are. So.
Doesn't matter to me.
Will Ms. Sims take along?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, so let's do the other ones. Mr. Mubarak, why don't you come on up? 220586. All right, sir, if you raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give today will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you. All right, this is docket number 22-0586. This is a citation that was issued July 22nd, 2022, and this is for parking, blocking, and public sidewalk. You are Mr. Mubarak?
Yes,
And what, if anything, did you want to tell me or show me?
I actually just don't remember the citation. Probably, I don't know, like, I don't know nothing about it, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right, so let me show you a couple of things here. I'm going to mark this as Village Exhibit number 3. Excuse me, number 1, which contains 3 photos. Why don't you come on up, Mr. Bart? So this is a photograph that has date indicator stamps from July 22nd, 2022 at 7 a.m. Is this your vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. So you've got these 2 photographs. You can see there's the driveway, and then you can see where the sidewalk is.
Mhm.
And then that photograph there. Okay. All right. So I'll take.
What I was saying is like, going back.
Yeah, cool. Please, so that we can keep the microphone thing going on.
No, what I was saying is that I didn't know about the ticket. That's what I was saying. Like,
Oh, okay.
so that's why I didn't. When I received the letter, is when I found out about
Oh, okay.
this hearing. I
Well,
mean, I
that's-
see the ticket. It was in the picture. The ticket was on the windshield.
Okay.
But when I got into my car,
You didn't see it. Okay.
no,
Okay. So you're not, based upon these photographs, you're not denying the fact
no,
that
no,
you
no.
parked.
I'm
Okay.
not. It's my car. It's my
Okay.
driveway.
All right. That's fine. All right. Anything else you want to say, sir?
No.
All right. So, Mr. Mubarak, I am going to make a finding of liability in this matter, sir. I will assess the fine at the $100. It's on the ticket. It's actually going to be $125 because there's costs to go along with that. So the total amount is going to be $125. Okay. So the inspector will give you a copy of the order and you can be on your way.
Okay. Thank you.
And then you can just make arrangements to pay it upstairs. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. And then do we have Mario's?
We do. Yes, sir. All right. So it's got,
Mario Fortuna. That's, okay, this is all the same? Okay.
yes, sir.
Look, would you raise your right hand for me, please? You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Yes. Are you gonna need an interpreter?
See.
Okay. Can you bring someone back with you
Do we
to?
have somebody that can assist?
Oh, okay. It's your lucky day. All right, I'll ask you to raise your right hand. Other right hand. Thank you. So people do that all the time. Do you promise that you will translate from English to Spanish, Spanish to English truly and accurately?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. State your name, please.
My name is Cynthia Jimenez.
Okay, and you are an assistant here at the village, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
memberships.
Very good. All right. So if I go too fast, stop me, okay? And just so that way you have an opportunity to translate, okay? Mr. Fortuna, do you understand a little bit about what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. If you don't, then you have to say something.
Por si alguna razón no entiende algo, déjanos saber para que yo le traduzca.
Sí.
She has to know because she has to know what she needs to say to you to translate.
Nos necesita dejar saber para que yo sepa que le tengo que traducir.
Sí.
Okay. All right. So the ticket that was issued on September 16th, 2022. And this is docket 22-0671.
El número del docket Can you repeat that?
The docket number is 22-0671.
0671.
And this is alleging that you continue to construct a pole barn without having a permit.
Y esto es en referencia de porque no tenía un permiso para poder poner un ajá, pole barn. Y eso se refiere packet.
Pero no entiendo por qué continuar si no lo he continuado.
He doesn't understand why it's being continued if he hasn't continued to move forward with the pole barn. Like why he's
Because he needs a permit.
porque necesita permiso.
Hasta ahorita estoy esperando el permiso.
And so this day he's still waiting for we've granted the permit.
Tengo 2 aplicaciones
He has 2 applications
y ninguna de las 2 me la han contestado.
and neither one of the 2 have been responded to.
Y después de ver que el clima está muy malo para mi caballo, no puedo dejarlo que el clima lo esté dañando. So tengo que poner lo que pude hacer yo fue un tejabán para protegerlo mientras me dan una respuesta.
Because he hasn't received any like issues or like any permission, he wanted to put that pole barn for his horse that he has there so that it's like sheltered.
I understand, but you need to have a permit before, you needed to have a permit before you started the pole barn.
Tenías de tener un permiso antes de poder poner el pole barn. Aunque él entiende en el por qué lo hizo, aún así le están dando que violó la ley, pues, porque se necesitaba tener el permiso antes.
Sí, yo sé, pero como no me han contestado hasta ahorita y está el clima muy mal, tengo que hacer algo porque el caballo está sufriendo todo esto.
The reason he understands that there is, you know,
The requirement.
process
Okay.
with the permit, but because he hasn't heard anything, that is why he went and moved forward with that for the conditions of the horse.
Oh.
Because it's going to get colder.
Yeah.
That's why he
Y
moved forward.
no la he terminado, está en construcción, no la he terminado.
He has not finished for that same reason because he doesn't want
Por
it
eso
to be a bigger.
Bigger deal.
Y estoy esperando el permiso para poderla construir.
And he's waiting for the permit so that he can move forward with the construction.
Do you know anything about this?
I
Where we stand?
No, absolutely nothing. Patrick, are you able to bring up the SNA and see if there's been a permit applied for?
There's a couple tickets that are due, but the one in our system is a $250 one, and
No, can you see if a permit's been issued?
A construction permit.
oh, very well. No, there's no construction permit issued for.
Is there
the
one? Can you
aforementioned
tell if
item.
there's one applied for or 2 applied for? In your
It
system?
might be, it very well might be, awaiting approval.
If you click on permits, you should be able to see if he's applied. His plan should be in there if he's applied.
No, there's a permit for a different item. That's not a pole barn, but a renovation of a garage where a door would be replacing the garage door instead of
Tengo
the
permiso para
traditional door that swings up.
That one he's aware of. He says he knows that he has permission for the.
Y estoy trabajando en eso.
and
Probablemente,
he's working on the garage.
Probablemente-
The one that he just mentioned.
probablemente piensan que estoy continuando con el juzgado.
They think that he's continuing with the pole barn, but he's actually not.
Okay. Well, I guess, do we have any idea if you did apply, when the permit might be approved? I mean, how
I can check him. I can find out if he even applied. He might be confused. He applied for a permit for something else, not for this pole barn.
Que me esperara 15
Probably
días.
take me 2 minutes.
They had told him that he needed to wait 15 days. Y desde allí no escuchó.
Nada.
15 days to apply or 15 days to hear about the
To
application?
hear back from the application after the 15 days, he has not heard back.
Okay, so the inspector can go upstairs and check to see if there's an application that's been filed. Okay, so let him go do that real quick, and then if he has applied, do you want to have the opportunity to have him get the permit so he can move forward, or?
Yeah, if
At
he
least-
has, if he's already applied, I'd like to just continue it generally, but just to make sure.
Yeah. No, I think that's giving him the opportunity because at least he made the application.
Right.
All right, so depending upon what the inspector says, all right, my inclination is that if he has applied for the pole barn, and it's still kind of in pending mode, then I'm going to continue it. I'm going to continue the case till next month.
Ahorita se puede chequear el inspector para ver en el sistema si ha aplicado por el permiso y dependiendo en lo que él diga, aún así quieren continuar el caso porque piensan que pues moviendo allí lo quieren mover para darle suficiente tiempo para poder continuar con el pole barn.
Okay.
Y va a tener que regresar el mes que viene.
Está bien.
Because I would prefer that if you get the permit, that you can finish your pole barn and we can deal with this. But the idea is that if it gives you an opportunity to have that permit issued and then get the construction taken care of, that's obviously the most important thing. And that'll go for what may or may not happen on this ticket.
La razón que quiere continuarlo es porque les daría suficiente tiempo para poder seguir con el proceso del pole barn y construcción de eso.
Sí.
Y para poder pues terminar el trabajo que quería terminar hace
Perfecto.
mucho tiempo y moviendo para el próximo caso for coming in for next month would he be coming into adjudication for the
He would be coming back here for adjudication, yeah.
y va a tener que regresar el mes que viene para este mismo proceso de adjudication
Sí.
y es el diciembre 14
Okay.
a las 9.
But let's see what the inspector says when he comes
Vamos a
back down.
esperar a ver lo que dice el inspector.
Okay.
Si está en el sistema.
Sí.
When are you going to get software?
I don't know.
So there's 3 tickets pending and there was a stop work order issued, but work was continued on it. But the respondent's claiming that it's now not being worked on. And one of the tickets was paid, which would mean that he's in compliance of it, and that's not the case. But we can wait for Inspector Dunning
Yeah,
to come back.
let's wait,
with-
man.
if there's a-
Again, I'll take all that into consideration.
And there's stormwater management is involved too with that, where I don't think the grade is there to construct the pole barn in the location that it's in now.
Oh,
I believe it was relocated from the west side of the property to the east side, and I think it might be a flood zone.
You want to tell him that's the information that the village has?
Yeah, sure. So, the permit, I believe, from stormwater management allowed it to be built on the west side, but it's now on the east side.
Uno de los permisos es de water,
Lake County Stormwater Management.
de Lake County Water Store Management y dice que estaba en violación en referencia de donde quiere poner la cerca
Sí.
que quería poner era del east, was it east?
Yeah, so I believe they issued a permit for that, but we have to issue our building permit.
Estaba en el oeste y they wanted on the west or what was it?
I believe that was the original proposal that was approved.
Y lo querían en el oeste.
Pero cerca, ¿cuál cerca?
Pues esa es la información que él me está leyendo allí de una cerca de
Oh, the zoning?
de Lake County Water Management.
Pero si el problema es la pool barn, ¿por qué me dice que una cerca?
Pero
For this? For hearings. Oh, yeah, and the ticket.
Pero el pool barn no la cerca. O una cerca que está diciendo.
pues es algo de como, pues sí, es el pole barn. Lo querían
Yeah.
en un lado ustedes y ellos lo quieren en el otro.
Oh, okay. Y como ahí existía uno, pero estaba muy viejo.
This actually
por eso
sounds like it's getting
busqué,
more complicated.
porque ahí estaba uno ya.
It sounds like you apply for a permit to stormwater management. And they approve it, but then the
Y
village
tal vez
never
por eso
approved
ya
it
no
where the building
existía el que antes
And hopefully
estaba
we'll clear this.
Y esa oficina que dice usted, el Water
It's
Department,
complicated.
That's what I just said.
Me dieron un plano donde son las áreas de inmigración y esa área donde está
Nothing simple.
inmigración.
All right.
According to what he told me, he received he spoke with the Lake County Water Management and he asked they told him exactly what areas are not of flooding, and to his understanding, the area that they provided him with, which is where he was constructing it, is not a flood zone area. according
Okay.
to what they said, in
Oh.
reference to that.
What he was saying. Okay. All right. The inspector's back. What do you got?
Yes, sir. She is correct. Stormwater management was involved in this case because there's concern of where he placed the barn. He did apply for a permit with us. We have not issued the permit based on what stormwater management is doing. He had,
Do we know what they're doing?
yeah, he had brought in a bunch of fill to backfill an area in violation of whatever stormwater management has going on. Last email was on October 13th from Stormwater Management. We asked for an update. They indicated he's only 25% in compliance of removing the fill that he brought in that he apparently shouldn't have. So Stormwater Management's not approving anything on the property so that we can't issue the permit.
Okay. And did Stormwater say that there was work to remediate whatever he did so that it could get it back and it's the building otherwise okay where it's,
I don't know that.
okay.
I don't know that. I just know that they said that he's not in compliance with what they've told him he has to do to the grading, anything that he brought on property. They said he was only about 25% compliant.
Dijeron que nomás está, que no está, que está violando muchas de las reglas que ellos tienen y que ellos después de la información que recibió y miró en el sistema, que nomás 25% está con las reglas que ellos mantienen y lo demás no está contra el barn de construcción de como usted lo quiera hacer. Que no está
Ok.
Confusion on what he's building too.
Que me digan cómo lo tengo que hacer y dónde lo tengo que hacer. Pero,
o dijeron que el permiso no está.
We should find out how long it's going to take him to come into compliance for stormwater, because our permit's going to be hung up on that.
Right.
He wants to know what information he needs, and he wants to be provided with construction.
Well, I can tell you the village probably isn't going to be able to give him anything dealing with stormwater. He's going to have to deal with stormwater on his own on that one. Because I don't know exactly. Me personally, I wouldn't know, but I don't know if even the village would know what stormwater's requirements are.
Ellos no saben los reglamentos de stormwater que se refiere a cuando hay inundación.
1 month, 2 months.
I don't know, what do you think, 1 or 2 months?
por eso
Part of
fui
the
a pedir
problem,
permiso a
I
esa
think part of the
oficina
also
y me
confusion is
aprobaron. Tengo
we
el
don't
permiso
we
que
don't
está
issue permits
aprobado
for
por
pole
ellos,
barns,
pero no
and
por la
that's what
ciudad
he
de
wrote
Beach
into the
Park.
permit, but it's not a pole barn. This
El
is a
único
wood
que necesito es el
construction.
permiso de la
So
oficina
that
de Beach Park, no de
would
ellos.
be
El de ellos ya lo
approved.
tengo. Y se
But
los
the
traje y
confusion
dije,
is
"No voy a
also that he mislabeled it. And of course, the young lady issuing the permits doesn't see the photographs that we have of the wood. So that's an issue, but I know they won't move forward on this until stormwater management approves whatever
How much
they have
time do
to
you think we
approve.
should give him?
I would say probably 30 days for a status update, and I'll get a hold of Mia from Stormwater Management and see when their next on-site inspection would be. It's already been almost a month since October 13th, just shy of it.
Yeah,
He
go ahead.
said that he got approval, but he didn't bring the information with stormwater. He just has been waiting to be approved by the city or like the village of Beach Park. But in regards to like the stormwater, he spoke to them directly and they approved him. He didn't bring that, but He's just waiting on.
Okay, so
our end.
here's what we're going to do. We're going to continue the case until December 14th. December 14th at 9 a.m. You'll come back here. Okay?
En el próximo mes, el diciembre 14 a la misma hora, a las 9.
In the meantime, talk to Stormwater and find out exactly what you need to do and what documents you need to bring to the village for the village to approve.
Mientras se va a tener de comunicar con el Stormwater y preguntarles bien qué es lo que ellos necesitan y toda la información. Y después de agarrar la información de ellos, debe de darnos a nosotros la información que ellos le dan a usted para que estén los dos.
Pero otra vez ya lo hice.
He said he already has that information, but he just needs to
He needs to bring that to the village
tráigalo aquí a la village.
because the village is being told something different.
Porque lo que le están diciendo a nosotros es algo diferente a lo que ellos nos han dicho. Entonces, si usted trae la información a nosotros, ahí puede
So do we want to
ayudarnos
continue it for
a-
status
para
at that point?
seguir.
Yeah, this is a significant piece of property that has been altered.
Tengo que esperar un mes más.
From my understanding, it's very significant
Y mi caballo está afuera.
of what was brought in.
That'll give us time to get some more information too, to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sí, así no necesitas esperar más. Nomás llegar al corte, pero no necesitas esperar.
¿Cuánto sí lo puedo terminar? No.
Debe de traernos primero la información para poder terminar.
Ok.
Sí. La información del guardia. Ajá, de lo que ellos le dieron. El teléfono de Mía yo lo tengo.
De mía yo lo tengo.
Okay.
Me voy a Mía y digan que necesita la papelería de cuando ellos se robaron para usted traerlo inmediatamente acá a la oficina de ahí arriba y pagar el permiso a ver qué le dice.
Es que ya me lo dio mía, ya me dio el permiso aceptado.
Si ella se lo dio, primero
traiga toda la información.
This wasn't my case, Tim, but I'll try to get up to speed on it. Figure out what's going on.
Ya lo traje, ahora
I mean,
tengo
if
que ir
it
otra
gets
vez.
everything in
Si tal
compliance,
vez algo sucedió,
I'd be surprised
no
if
le
it
puedo
could.
explicar ella porque no lo
I don't know.
pero si lo trae ahora,
hoy mismo lo debería ir a traer. Porque si no, no me diga ese momento.
All right, so Mr. Fortuna, what we're going to do is we're going to continue this matter until December 14th. And in the meantime, bring in any documents that Stormwater has given you to the village so they can look at it.
va a regresar el mes que viene, en el 14 de diciembre a las 9, pero mientras debe de traer la información, todos los documentos de que ellos le dieron a nosotros, como le acabo de decir, para poder seguir el proceso. Así agarra usted el permiso y ya podemos terminar, ya puede terminar el trabajo.
Okay. All right, he's going to give you a copy of the order.
Le va a dar una
All
copia
set.
de la información. Aquí está la fecha. Próximo.
All right, thank you.
Ya lo terminó, tal vez le da ella el papel, si no lo quiere, que le dé otro papel, lo trae aquí y comunique de él. Que lo termina, cuando venga por el próximo día, así lo termina. Que le vaya bien, ¿no?
All right, Ms. Sims, come on up. Thank you for your patience. I know we've got four items on the docket, so. So this is, first of all, let me have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you'll give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, ma'am. You are Doris?
Yes.
Okay. So there's 4 cases on the docket, 22-0421, 0422, 0423. It looks as though there's 2 under that same 0421, but I'll look at that. But there are 4 separate tickets.
You may recall this from last month. We continued it today so that we could give code enforcement time to go out and do a reinspection because she thought she was in compliance. I believe that Steve had made a couple of attempts. Is that correct?
Actually, Doris called me and had some confusion whether or not she was supposed to pay the tickets. That's the only conversation we had. I asked her to call me the following week to set up an inspection and never heard from her. I don't know if I missed a message or she just didn't call me, but I never got any.
I did call you, and I left a message saying that I had to pay these tickets. So I
Yeah,
wasn't
that's the only
sure.
message that we got, and I talked to her about that. So there was confusion whether or not you had to pay the tickets, but we didn't set up a date. There was no date given for me to come back onto the property.
You know, I'm sorry. This is the first time I'm in a court. I never been in a court just for one ticket for my car. That's it. I
Yeah.
never been in court.
So it
So I
hasn't
have no
been
idea.
re-inspected, except from a distance. I have gone back and inspected it from the roadway, and I've inspected it from the adjoining property. Problem is my inspection of the adjoining property, I don't know where the lot line is.
So, and do we have her son's?
Her son's up too.
Yeah.
He's not present.
Yeah, why isn't your son here today?
Sorry?
Your son?
He's in there.
He's here today,
No, he's in the house.
but he's not here today.
I don't know if he was supposed to have this court. I don't know if he's supposed to be.
Okay.
Last court, I told him don't even come
Yeah,
because
he received notice.
So, as far as Ms. Sims is concerned, we would be looking for just fines on each of her tickets. Her son, we would be looking for a per-day fine.
Is that Miguel?
Yes.
I mean, the property is already clean, right?
From what I can see,
Yes.
it's, I can't tell if everything
Even
is
water
in compliance.
department went last week. And she told me you just have to plant the seeds for
From the
the grass.
stormwater management?
What is, yeah. And I talked to a couple landscape companies, and they told me we do the job, but we don't give you warranty. What I mean, don't warranty. The grass is gonna come out because it's kind of cold, and
I
sometimes the seeds get burned with the cold. I say I don't want to spend all this money just to have no grass.
I can tell you that we're probably in compliance with 3 of the tickets from my visual inspection from the road and adjoining property. One of the tickets, I cannot determine that from the distance, and that would be the nuisance conditions with the debris accumulation, rubbish materials, building materials, snow plows, and similar materials. Especially if those are in an area where I can't see from the roadway and/or the adjoining property.
Okay, but the burning safety regulations,
The burning safety regulation, that would be a one-time situation for that particular day. Beginning work without a permit was the construction of a chicken coop.
But I did. I
Yeah.
paid that.
Beginning
oh,
that,
she paid that fine?
No, the permit.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the tickets for starting it
Oh,
without
so
the permit.
she got the permit already?
Yep, and
long
then,
time.
yep, and then I think that also incorporated some work being done to the driveway, which is not
And
permitted.
that's the dumping?
No, and the dumping's completely separate. That's ongoing.
Okay.
This is actually a companion property with the gentleman that was cited earlier today for $750 a day.
Was that
Yes.
Mr. Montoya?
Yes,
It's no more dumping in there.
not on your property, no,
No.
not that I'm aware
The
of.
another one is the next property. Is another because I talked to him.
All right, so Inspector, the one that is in compliance is the one with the permit?
Permits in compliance now.
Okay.
The burning safety regulation, that would be a one-time thing at that time. What continued quite often.
Okay.
Obviously,
And the
we weren't.
nuisance one, we don't know anything about.
The nuisance, I can't determine whether or not we're completely in compliance with that without reinspection.
Okay.
And the dumping prohibited, that's a repeated thing. There's no continued dumping, to my knowledge, on this particular property.
No, it's not.
But again, you haven't been on the property.
I haven't been on the property,
Okay.
but I don't see any piles of material
more.
being deposited there from the
Okay.
roadway either. The ones that we, in this particular case, it was very visible, very significant, so you could see it from the roadway. I don't see any continued dumping, haven't received any
it's no more.
complaints from the neighbors, or stormwater management of continued dumping. But it did go on from, I think July, started in July and continued way past the September date. It started on July 11th. The illegal dumping in it continued for months.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Sims, in regards to the burning and safety, do you have those orders?
No, she didn't. You didn't do findings on these. I have the old findings. I don't have new findings on these. She can-
Print out findings for them, but I do not know a construction permit for the
Okay.
chicken coop.
For the chicken coop?
I can confirm that with
If you
Yeah.
could.
building department. I don't see it in our system.
No, I came and paid upstairs. I came like months ago.
Yeah, no problem.
So it's
This
gonna
one's
be
kind
right now
of, hey,
because
hey,
I paid- I paid $50 for that. And the reason why he didn't finish is because you guys had a concern about where he put it, so he ended up putting it back.
For that structure on Western property.
Ya, un permiso para tener gallineros. Sí lo pagué hace como
So
2
the village
months.
is looking for flat
It's
fines?
a long time ago.
For
Ms. Sims?
for Ms. Sims, and I'll give you a little bit more background about the property. Ms. Sims bought the property from her son's ex-girlfriend, who we were prosecuting at one point for these same violations. So she has inherited these violations, and I will say that since she's been cited, I think the property has moved forward in
Yes.
compliance.
Yes, I did.
So with that being said, I would just look for a flat fine for her.
Okay.
Her son, however, is a different story.
Okay.
I've been trying to work out with you guys.
No, and
because I don't like no problems.
I stuck up for you with the village this morning too, so.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah. And the chicken permits, I came like months ago. I'm surprised they don't have it. And the only reason that he didn't finish is because, remember that he put it this side
Mhm.
by the tree, and you guys said it's not that, and he said, I went to the computer and checked where it's supposed to, and this is the right place, but, and then I said,
Yep.
just put it in the back of the house. Anyway, it looks ugly here, I said, because when people pass by, they see the chicken thing, so he put it in the back. And it's not even finished yet, too.
Was she going upstairs to get orders?
She is. And she's also going to check on the permit.
Okay.
Yeah, they
What
should be
findings
there.
did she need help out to? Was it?
All
finding
four.
sheets?
You want me to give them to you? I can give you Miguel's, the exact same thing, except the ticket numbers are not same.
So he had a court today? Miguel had a court?
Miguel had court, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tell him.
It would be the exact same thing right here.
Okay.
Yep, she's got them for Miguel, just not for
They haven't
Doris.
done anything with it.
Okay.
So
So
I'll
we
talk
find for
tomorrow.
each of these?
Yes,
Okay, got it.
they would just be duplicate to exactly that.
Okay, sure.
It would just be a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
You know, if I was here and I print it back there.
And you do a lot more writing than Bill did.
Well, I just try to make a record, but, I mean, I suppose you could make the findings, but.
Talking about putting in a printer back there?
Yeah, or even up here, you know, I know that they have the
Mhm.
wireless ones and, you know.
I thought we were moving that direction for you.
Originally, that's what Andrew was doing. He loved the idea.
Yeah.
And again, the printer doesn't have to be there. If it's wireless, it could be sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just print it out and.
Yeah, no, and the law says that you're supposed to write your factual findings in the order.
You know, and that's why it's just, they're, it's a little bit small.
Yeah.
Like I said, Mia, what's her name? The water department lady? Mia?
Yeah, Mia?
Yeah, she was there a week and a half ago,
And she sent me an email because she sent me all the emails every time she goes and check the place. She told me everything was okay. Now the only thing that she needed was
Grass seed.
grass seed.
Yep.
But like I said before, I talked to 2 companies and they told me they don't give me warranty. And they wanted, I would be spending over $2,000. And I called me, I said, you know what, me, I work so hard for my money. I don't want to, I already throw away a lot of money in this jar and I don't want to waste more money. I say, especially in this economy, I don't need to spend money like that.
Hey, did
Your
you?
I'm
son
a
should pay
single
for that
lady,
stuff.
and you know I'm a single lady, and I
default
help
orders
my
that need to
2
be signed?
kids.
Yes.
And I have
Might
a
as well
grandson
do
go to
that while we're
college, and
waiting.
I'm helping
Sounds
that
good.
too. It's crazy. I mean,
Yeah, you should get your son to pay for that stuff.
yeah, he's not working right now.
Just hand me the whole file.
Hang on.
Or just
But I told
just
him,
one thing.
if you don't
We'll
keep
Yeah.
straight in this, and they're gonna keep
Cynthia's
being,
new.
I feel
She's put
terrible
all the
going
defaults
for
in the
every
back.
month now. I told him,
You
I've
need
never
them
been
in the
like this in
front.
my life. Say, you're
Doesn't
not
matter
gonna
how many
keep
times
with
I
this,
said it.
you better get out. I told him I kick him out. The
He's
house
got
is
a
mine.
process.
Also, I told him I'm not gonna be paying taxes
There we
every year if you don't pay the rent. So,
50.
We're just waiting for them to come back downstairs
yeah,
with the orders.
yeah, I'm sure I did pay, so I don't. If one my son that once told me I went to pay, I would be not believe it, but I came and paid, so that's why I'm sure that I pay. Long time ago. It's been months. And what happened with the Latino people is, another, I'm trying to defend my people, but in our countries, we can do whatever we want in the patio, in the yard, and there's no rules. I mean, my grandma was living in a house in a little town, and she didn't have not even 1 acre, and she had a cow and a horse, and a lot of pigs and a lot of chickens. So it's no, over there is no problem. So I think a lot of these people think that it's the same here, but I know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in Wadsworth like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring up the final back. All right. So there is no construction permit issued for that or applied for. It was inquired for from Miguel. But there's no $50 that was paid. There's no construction permit issued. There's no construction application applied for or anything.
I did pay $50 to the lady up there. I can even go and see who I paid. It's unbelievable. I mean, I would be
He
not
didn't show
lying
up.
there. So maybe she didn't
Yeah.
do the paperwork.
Here.
A permit for that wouldn't be $50. It would
Yeah,
be,
We were
$50.
concerned.
That's what I said before.
Yeah, no, I heard.
most likely,
You did?
it's 2% of the construction cost.
Oh, okay.
I even printed a
And
picture for them, but he wasn't here.
$40
He
per
wanted. He asked a
inspection,
lot of
and
strange
it's
questions.
multiple inspections. So it wouldn't cost $50 even if it was issued for you.
Yeah, I pay $50.
If it was
Wow.
for something else, then it,
No, not something else.
no, there's no construction permit issued for that chicken coop that's on there now, on your property.
It's unbelievable.
You maybe pay $50 for something else?
No,
A
I pay
ticket?
$50 to the lady with the glasses. The ones have the glasses, and I say, how much is for the chicken? And then she said $50, and I give her $50.
So you might have applied for a chicken, to have chickens on your property. That might be what you're referring to. So there's a permit for that. No, there's no construction permit issued for
Maybe she didn't
for the
understand me
building.
then?
Pardon?
How gonna apply for chickens when I don't have the house yet?
Yeah, the building department, Tracy Miracle said that there's nothing applied for, no chicken No chicken application to have those
No, no,
or
no, no.
a
That one they
construction
cannot come
permit
in
for
there
the
because
building.
some came in person to pay $50.
Do you want these back?
What's that?
You want these back for Doris?
Yeah, you
Just so you can see.
Okay. All right. So I've got all these orders now. All right. So, all right, so let's look at the first one, and that's the burning. Okay. So, this citation, which is 13430, this was a burning safety regulation, fire left unattended, no fire extinguisher, garden hose, or water source available. And Inspector, this was this a third-party complaint, or did you come upon this?
Third-party complaint where the fire department responded.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Sims, is there anything you wanted to tell me about the burning citation?
He stopped with that, and he has when he even told me the day the fire department came, he said that they was very pleased with him because he had a hose and he had a fire extinguisher next to it. So this is what I hear from him because honest to you, I just come to check the house like 2-3 times a week, but that's it. I don't live there.
Oh, okay. But you own the house?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Unfortunately, I just bought it like a few months ago. Big mistake. I sold my house in Skokie and I paid a cash for this house. What a big mistake. So you mind if I go when we finish upstairs because I did pay $50 for that.
Yeah, you could talk to Tracy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go because I give it to her. I don't have no reasons to lie.
Do you want to take them out?
Okay, yeah, you could.
Yeah,
you
it's
could
fine
talk
for
to
that
her.
one.
Yeah, she's upstairs.
Yeah, because I did pay.
Sure.
I'm sure she gave me maybe a paper, maybe my son had it. Because if she gave me a
Yeah,
paper,
you
I
could-
give it to my son.
You can discuss that with her, but there's no construction application or construction permit on file.
Yeah, no, I fill it up, that will get, and I did.
All right. So, Ms. Sims, in regards to the burning ticket,
Yes.
the information that I have before me obviously establishes that prima facie showing that the violation did occur on that time. I am going to make a finding of liability in this matter. I am going to assess the fine at the ordinance amount, which is $250, plus the $25 cost. So the total amount on that one is $275. Okay.
Yeah, I had to pay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, if it's your son doing it, your son should pay. But
He didn't even pay electricity in the house.
Yeah.
How he's
So-
gonna pay me the tickets?
All right. So the second one is the citation 13431, which is the beginning work without a permit, work being completed, and this says driveway and patio.
Patio.
All right. All right. So let me do this. So I'm going to mark this as Village Exhibit Number 1, which contains 2 photographs. These photographs are dated May 19th, 2022. Inspector, did you take these or were you present when these were taken?
I took those photos, yes.
You did. And they truly and accurately depicted the condition of the property as it stood on that date.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And that was in May, but this citation was issued in July. So what
There was no change.
There was no change or
No change. The chicken coop was still there and the construction on the driveway was continuing.
okay. All right, Ms. Sims, did you want to take a look at these photographs?
Yeah. Yeah, he stopped to finish this because I came to do to get the permit.
Mhm.
And because Steve told him there wasn't at the right place, right, Steve? That you can do. And
Yeah.
then he said that he saw in the computer how many food and how many this. And he said this was the right place. And then I told him, you know what, Mike, I said, if they don't like what it is, actually I don't like it either because it's in front of the house almost. I said, I would be put in the back of the house. Like, and then he said, okay. And they said, but I paid the $50. I swear to God in my mom's grief. I'm not
Okay.
going to be lied for that. And this one is for,
Driveway?
no, we're not working in the driveway. That one maybe was to fill it up with some holes maybe. Because the driveway, I told my son, I'm not going to work in the driveway because it's a lot of money. And honest to you, I'm going to sell the house. I'm going to kick my son out and sell the house because that one was my idea to live in this house because I like a big yard and
Oh,
I was thinking a lot of different things. I had a lot.
well, you could kick him out and you could live there. All right, you just want to step back to the podium. Okay. All right. So what's the village's position on this?
Whatever the ticket amount is.
Okay.
As long as she goes up and works on getting a permit for the chicken coop.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go and tell them
Okay.
that I pay already.
Okay.
And then the reason why he didn't finish is because he wasn't not sure what you guys wanted. And then he told me to call, and I never called. I was like, this is his problem, but to call where they wanted, but I never called. But I know I pay. I pay to the old.
Well, you can check that out.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So Ms. Sims, as to this one, I will make a finding of liability in this matter. Obviously, the photographs, I'll admit those, and it's clear that the work had started. Not that you haven't subsequently gone and sought a permit, but clearly that the work had started without a permit, and that's what constitutes the
But
violation.
if the work started, I would be had to pay for the material, and he never told me anything about material. So
Who, your son?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. All I know is
Believe
what
me,
I
I'm
see.
the ones pay for everything there.
All I see is what I see here. So
Yeah. So that.
So that's sufficient for me to make my finding. So I will make that finding of liability. I'll assess the fine at the current amount, which is the fine amount on the ticket, which is $250. All right. So what do we want to do about the nuisance? That was the one that you did not have an opportunity to.
Yeah, I can provide just the pictures of that day. That's some of it. This was the earlier visit. That's the continued visit. I can't tell from my vantage point if that's been cleared up.
Yeah, it's been cleared up. I have the emails from Mia. She's been there. She's been going there every 2 weeks.
Well, from who? Who?
The lady from the water department.
That's, yeah, stormwater manager. That's separate. That's
Okay.
They don't deal with.
Yeah. So what my order was last time is that you needed to grant the village access so they could come out and look at this. And that was my order, that so we wouldn't have the situation where I'm going, well, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got?
Well,
And
we can-
and I'm back to that position again. So it just kind of puts me in a spot here, but we'll go ahead and proceed.
Even when I talked to you a couple of weeks ago, you told me that everything looks clean, right?
From the street,
From
yeah.
the street, yeah. And I went there and I went inside the property and yeah, it was clean.
Yeah.
And then I asked my son, what is that thing? And he says it's from another neighbor. And then I said, which one is my line? And he showed me which one was the line.
All right, so for the next one, and this is citation 13432, this is dealing with the nuisance conditions, debris accumulation, rubbish material, building materials, snow plows, and similar materials. So again, at the last hearing, I specifically stated that the village needed to have access so we could see what the circumstances were and the
we can
condition of
go
the
even
property.
today.
Well, we're here now, and the inspector is telling me that didn't take place. So I'm looking at some photographs. One I've marked as Village Exhibit Number 1. This is a photograph dated May 19th, 2022, for this property. And the second one is Village Exhibit Number 2, which is a group exhibit, and that contains 4 photographs, all having a date indicator stamp of July 11th, 2022.
Yeah, and
Ms.
July
Sims, I'll have you take a look at these because I'm going to
Yeah,
take these
I
into
think
consideration.
I think
I think yeah, you've seen these.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is how it
You
was
got
in
it?
July. It's
Okay.
good.
I gave Doris all
Yeah.
the pictures.
And
Do you know?
no, it's snow plows. I have one snow plow in there, and he has one. We cannot have a snow plows in the yard. I mean, how we have to clean the snow in winter, so we have to have a snow plow. So this is what my question is.
Well, you can talk to the village about
Okay.
I think they.
appropriate
Yeah.
storage for something like that.
I think they have to be on the improved surface on the gravel. They just can't be out in the yard.
In the yard, okay.
Yeah.
What's the village's position on this one? Same thing?
Yeah.
Or do you?
No, I think the ticket amount is fine. I think she's been honest with everything else, so.
Yeah, I'm not lying.
No,
Actually, this is my problem sometimes.
the property's come a long way since you got involved, so.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And believe me, every time I'm in the neighborhoods, I drive by because I work a lot over here in this neighborhood. So
Now, Steve, do you want to get back in and make another inspection of that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would like to,
please.
just
we can.
so she knows what, so she's not stuck getting
Maybe you
fined.
guys can set up a time. where
Yeah,
you can go out
I don't
there.
want her to get tickets for
Yeah.
Yeah.
stuff that could be
Because you
avoided.
understand that if he would go out near the property again, and if he sees something, even if it's from the road, this whole process could start up again.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell my
So,
son because
yeah.
it's crazy. It's not fair for me to be paying.
It's not,
tickets.
especially
Yeah.
when if it's your
Especially if-
son
yeah.
doing it. and then-
Especially if I let him to be there, he couldn't be a homeless right now.
All right, I'll admit villages exhibits 1 and 2. Ms. Sims, I will make a finding of liability in this matter. I think the pictures are clear that there was some issues back in July, but unfortunately, there's nothing to otherwise indicate that there was, it has been cleaned up at this point.
Yeah.
In terms of confirmation. So based upon that, I'm going to set a flat fine and not a per day fine. And that's going to be a $500 fine pursuant to the ordinance again. And with that,
500 plus the 250?
500 for this one.
And then I have another one for 250?
Yeah.
My question is, with all my respect, I was here last month and saw we had already these issues. Now it's cleaned it up, so why you didn't find me last month?
Well, last month you were given an opportunity to set up an inspection. And that inspection didn't take place. So with that inspection.
Oh, you guys didn't go? I was supposed to call you for that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Right, and
I
the fine would have
misunderstand.
been the same last month too.
No, but I misunderstand about that I was supposed to call them and go. I thought that you guys just go all the time to check. I didn't.
No, they
really-
can't. They can't go on the property. They can from the road. They can see what they can see,
Oh my
but they can't
God.
actually
that
go
one
on
was
the.
my mistake.
So,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
okay.
So now I'm gonna pay $500 for that for nothing.
All right. So the last one is citation 13433, docket number 0421. This one is for the dumping.
Wow.
And it says dumping prohibited, allowed repeated dumping of rubbish, landscape materials, and miscellaneous. All right. Ms. Sims, what did you want to tell me on this? If anything, I mean, we've said a lot here
dumping,
already.
he was telling me that he was because he erased the he make it higher because there was a lot of water problems. So he said that he was using a lot of the stuff that people was dumping to fill it up the holes, the bed dirt. So that's why now we had to have a nice soil to plant the seeds. So that one was what I hear from him. And I saw it too. Because
You saw these pictures,
now,
right?
Now it's everything. Yeah, I saw the pictures and I've been seeing them in person because I go there all the time.
Okay.
So that means I had to pay this time because I didn't call Steve to make appointment to go and see the place.
Well, you were found liable based upon the information that I have before me today. And that is that there was a violation. It took place.
okay.
And as far as I know, the violation is still in existence. Again, I don't know, but as far as I can tell, without knowing anything else, but just for the paperwork that I have, that the violation is still in existence. Okay. So with that, that's how I'm making my finding. All right. If it's resolved, that's great, because remember, if there's still nuisance issues that are there,
I have pictures on my phone, but I know you guys don't want to
right?
see
So
it.
if there is, then you can be cited again. So that's why it's important to have the inspector come out, and
Yeah,
that way
no,
you
it's
just get
okay.
it
Yeah,
resolved.
I have a pictures and the phone they had the dates of the pictures, but that doesn't matter. But I'm very upset about all this because it's crazy.
All right, so there's two sets of photographs. One photograph set is 9 photos, which I've marked as Village Exhibit number 1. This is 9 photos from May 19th. And then Village Exhibit number 2 has 4 photographs, which is dated July 11th, 2022. This is dealing with the dumping. Okay. And you said this has been cleaned up now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Inspector, what do you have? So in regards to this one?
On this particular offense, the illegal dumping, it was an ongoing situation that lasted for months, where her son Miguel was bringing on materials that are not suitable for fill, concrete, asphalt grindings, and landscape material. You can't bring landscape material from off-site and bring it onto your property. And particularly, you can't use it as fill. So as you can see from the pictures, this was ongoing, quite a bit of dumping going on there.
Okay. All right. Do you have anything to say from what he just said?
No.
Okay.
No.
What's the village's position on this one?
Again, I think it's very similar. Ms. Sims has brought the property a long way. So while I'd like to fine them per day, she has done a lot to bring the property into compliance.
So just the ticket amount is what you're seeking?
Yeah, I think so. Don't you? I mean, granted,
Yeah.
we've been trying to stop the dumping for a long time, but since she's been involved, because this ticket is in her name, I think that would be appropriate on this. Now, if this was in her son's name, that would be completely different.
All right, so if admitted, villages exhibits numbers 1 and 2, listen to the testimony, and I do find the defendant liable. Again, you're liable only because you own the place, and
Yeah, I
it's
understand.
your son whose
Yeah.
issues are giving you issues. But I do find that their dumping was an ongoing situation. Hopefully that is now resolved, but I will assess a flat fine, which is the ticket amount, which is $500 plus the costs. So the inspector is going to give you copies of the order, and then are the orders, and then you probably should go up and talk to Tracy or whoever you talk
Oh,
to.
yeah, for sure. Oh,
And
yeah.
then also make an appointment right away with the inspector so he can go out with you to look at the property. Okay. This way you avoid the issues.
Yeah.
And then they know that it's Miguel is the potential problem.
Mhm.
So, do you have Miguel's file?
I do.
Why don't you give me that one? Let me do it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Oh, he's got 4. Okay.
So I'm done then.
You are done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
And I
for
don't
help.
have to come back another call, Commissioner?
No, but please call me and set up a date.
Oh,
Let's
for
set
sure,
up a date
yes.
so I can get back on the property.
Okay.
Because I don't want to have you, cited down the road for stuff that's still there.
Okay, if you don't answer, just leave a
Leave a message, yeah.
Okay, and then you can call me because I don't know if it's good for you the day.
Yeah,
I told
leave
you,
a message that's what you're calling for
Because I work
the
almost
inspection.
every day. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Who is the lady with
Tracy,
the glasses?
Tracy?
No, this is what I read.
In regards to, is it July 11th? Is the back date?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think
July 11th is the ticket date, right?
Yes, that's the ticket dates.
All right.
The offenses started in May 11th.
Yeah.
May 19th.
I would like to go back to the offense date.
May 19th?
Yeah.
In this particular situation, they received a notice of violation, which would have been for the May 19th, and it didn't come in compliance. In addition to that, they also received a cease and disorder for the continued dumping and burning, and work without a permit, and that can still continue even after the cease and disorder was served on them.
Okay.
Can't believe my coffee got cold. You were a little long-winded today. And I really don't think with any of those, we could have really talked to them ahead of time to come up with an agreement. Most of those were all a little off-the-wall cases.
Yeah, they're kind of cleaned it up.
So he's got four tickets we want to do per days on each one, correct?
Yes, please. Does he have a burning ticket too?
He does.
That's probably a one-day thing. It's not a...
Even though it continued.
Oh, did it continue?
Burning? Nonstop.
All right, no. Let him argue that it wasn't then.
Yep. Literally day and night on the weekends.
We were busy this morning.
At least she owned it.
It's not your fault. It's Mark's fault. Issue just left it on his desk.
Can't better go buy that Otero property. Grafton, Lyington. I think of the Peacock maybe.
It's not ringing a bell.
One where he had commercial vehicles parked up front and I said that.
Yes.
for the
Yep.
pictures.
Yeah. He, I thought I emailed you back. I didn't go right away. But he's got trailers and other stuff that's on the property, but they're not commercial. They're, motorcycles, snowmobile trailers, things like that. Everything's on improved surface too. So when I went by, there was no commercial vehicles, but
So you want to spot check him again?
it's still quite a bit of, vehicles and trailers.
Because he would move them for a short time and move them all back.
We will continue to spot check him. Yeah.
And then you got to tell me what you want to do with it.
He's got a huge concrete drive, so he can put a lot there. I was thinking of Green Bay Road with the multi-dwelling, which has not been rectified.
That's Wadsworth.
I think that's Wadsworth. Yep, it's
That's the
Wadsworth.
one where we wrote the ticket for construction without a permit. And we really should have said they were in violation of zoning.
Yeah.
That's the one where he sent back stuff showing that it was built that way.
Yeah, yeah, but he's
Can't use it that way.
he's still using it as a rental property.
Because I think Oscar called me like 10 minutes after we red tagged it. But yeah, next time we cite that, that's got to be a violation of the zoning. We can't prove
Mm-hmm.
that he built it without a permit.
All right, this is, there's 4 tickets. Ticket number 13434, Beach Park, docket number 22-0421. This is beginning work without a permit. The defendant has failed to appear. I make a finding of liability in this matter. I'll assess a per-day fine of $750 per day for every day the property remains in violation since May 19th. Next one also has the same docket number, but that's ticket number 13435. The defendant, Miguel Lemus, is also in default. I do make a finding of liability. Sets the fine at $750 per day since the property, for every day the property remains in violation since May 19th, 2022. Next one is citation number 13436, Beach Park docket number 22-0421. Oh, these all are on the same, okay.
Yes.
So on this particular ticket number, which is the dumping, the defendant failed to appear. I do find him liable. He's in default. Assess the fine at $750 per day for every day the property remains in violation since May 19th, 2022. And obviously all of these are plus the $25 cost. Last is citation number 13437. The burning violation, the defendant fails to appear. I find him in default, find him liable. Assess the fine at $750 per day for every day the property remains in violation since May 19th. And I think we're done, right?
The rest are all, no, we have a ton of FTAs.
All right, let me get them out of here.
Yep.
And then we'll get them. Can you let David know? Okay, thanks. Did he say just to reschedule, call him and reschedule?
No, he said to give you his cell phone.
Okay.
I do have dismissals too.
Yeah, whatever you got. If you just want to stack them, we'll get you guys scored away. This will conclude the administrative hearings for the Village of Beach Park, this being November 9th, 2022.